Delayed gratification is our ability to delay or put off an immediate small reward. And to explore this, we're going to look at a very famous Stanford University experiment where they asked 4 and 5-year-old children to sit in a room with a desk in front of them, and they placed a single marshmallow on a plate in front of them. They said, you can either eat this single marshmallow now or don't eat it. Wait 15 minutes and we'll come back in. And if you haven't eaten the single marshmallow, then you can have 2. And it all relates to our ability to put off the small immediate reward, knowing if we do so, there's a greater one down the line. Arguably though, the challenge of delayed gratification is tougher now than it really ever has been. If you think about our lives, anything we could ever possibly want is at the touch of a button. Instant information online, food delivered to our house within 15 minutes. If we see someone wearing a pair of trainers that we like, we can find them online and we can get them on next day or even same day delivery. So we're getting used to things happening very quickly. We don't have to wait anymore, which is why delayed gratification becomes even harder, because it's not what we're used to. We can look at delayed gratification like a muscle. If we can build our ability to put off small rewards, it means that we're better able to persist when results aren't instant, allowing us to reach the greater rewards down the line. Take a look at this, the plateau of latent potential. It's about recognizing there's a disconnect between the effort we put in and then seeing the results. The straight diagonal line on the graph shows what we think should happen, a direct correlation between the efforts and results increasing accordingly. What actually happens is that we end up in this dip, the valley of disappointment, where to begin with, we're putting a lot of time and effort in and likely not seeing the immediate results. But over time, we can start to see that that line increases dramatically after we've put all the initial grunt work and effort in at the beginning. So let's relate this to our own lives. Is there something that you've been maybe putting off starting or continuing with because there's no immediate reward? It could be forming new habits like getting up earlier to exercise or do a mindfulness practice, a personal or professional development course. So if we started this today and continued, what would life look like for us in 6 months' time? Would you have the first draft of your book written, become fitter and stronger, sustained a healthier lifestyle, completed your professional qualification, enabling you to progress in your career, saved money for a deposit on a house, have a healthy pipeline with increased sales? We've identified what the big rewards look like, but as we know, our chimp reactive mind will be a constant barrier here because its job is to protect us. Look for the easy route, the quick rewards, and keep us in our comfort zones. To better enable us to persist, to achieve our second marshmallow rewards, we now need to identify what our single marshmallow temptations are going to be. The things our chimp mind is going to want us to retreat to, and it's going to put up a good fight. Our single marshmallow temptations could look like displacement or procrastination activities. It could be eating a packet of crisps 15 minutes before your dinner's ready, snoozing the alarm for 10 minutes instead of getting up for your exercise class or mindfulness practice, deferring to easy, non-threatening tasks rather than starting the more difficult projects where success isn't guaranteed, where we might feel vulnerable. For example, instead of picking up the phone to a client or colleague or starting a longer-term project or course, deferring to easier single marshmallow tasks such as emptying our email inbox that keep us in our comfort zones and limit our potential. In front of us, we can see the emotional traps of the single marshmallow temptations that we can very easily fall into. But we can also see what life might look like in 6 months' time with our second marshmallow rewards identified, which is really empowering and motivating because we now have a roadmap of what to avoid and the rewards that, if we do so, that we're working towards.